Grandma L. A short horror story. Written by Michael van der Voort. Narrated by Robin Reeds. I first moved on to the Carswell estate when I was 11. By the time I was 12, I knew who Grandma L was. In the past, the word witch would have been shouted and screamed, screeched and howled by an angry mob, pointing with accusing fingers toward the hut on the edge of town or the hovel that rested just beyond the tree line. Now, though, when such monsters lurk not on the fringes but amongst us, it is in the muted tones of rumour and hearsay that such wicked stories are shared. It was not with a shout, but with a whisper, muttered in a school cloakroom one damp afternoon, that I first heard about the witch on the hill. It was 5 years later that I actually met her. Grandma L was the matriarch of one of the biggest and, I don't think it would be unfair to say, most notorious families on the Carswell estate. Everyone knew a Clark. If you weren't related to, married to, or employed by one or another member of the family, then you clearly weren't from these parts. The older members of the family, L's 7 sons, were all in some way involved in the building trade and indeed any job, from plastering to tiling, extensions to patios, that wasn't paid for by the council, or which, more likely, was never even broached with the council at all, would have some member of the Clark family involved. On a close-knit estate, they were the wool. As united as they were numerous, you would never cross one for fear of the rest, and in particular of L. As with every great terror of children, there were few details and even fewer specifics to L's story. So infrequently was she actually seen that some, including myself, had questioned on more than one occasion whether she existed at all. It was clear, however, that there was something about this woman, as even within the older generations a degree of reverence was paid to this motherly and yet somehow malevolent figure. In some stories, she was a Robin Hood-like character who sent stockings of fell-off-the-back-of-a-lorry gifts to needy families at Christmas, or slipped pleasingly heavy brown envelopes through the letterboxes of those recently made redundant. In other stories, she dealt out justice of a supernatural kind. According to my classmates, old Winston, who was often seen around the precinct with his 2 withered hands, became like that after he had slapped one of L's granddaughters during an argument. On another occasion, so they said, a boy who had graffitied the outside wall of her house was...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?